was trying to get some drone footage of me coming towards the drone, but I ended up crashing it into a pine tree. So disconnected from the sled, going to pick up the drone. So you can see where it played weed whacker and knocked pine needles down. Ended up crashing right here. It looks okay. Looks like it had a pretty soft landing after it hit some pine branches. I don't know what happened. It all of a sudden just cut real heavy to one side and took off sideways and slammed into a pine tree. I'm fortunate that it was a young pine and it just played weed whacker on it and doesn't look like it broke anything. Hope it's okay. This is as good a spot as any, so it's kind of open right up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up the hammock and get the quilts on it and get ready for a cold night. What I'm going to do for staying warm is I don't have a real super cold weather quilt, so I'm actually going to double up my quilts. I have one quilt that's rated to about 30 degrees, and the warmer weather quilt that I have is rated to about 50 degrees. So I'm going to double the two up and see if it keeps me warm enough. I have my Baffin Booties. These things are a game changer. These make all the difference between having a miserable night and having a nice warm night with nice warm feet. So that is the warm weather quilt that is supposed to keep me warm to temperatures of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And now this is my cold weather quilt, which is supposed to keep me warm to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So I figure doubling them both up should keep me warm to, well, we'll see. We'll see how the night goes. So I have my warm weather quilt and my cold weather under quilt. I have my warm weather top quilt and my cold weather top quilt. And if that's not enough, I brought this cheaper quilt that keeps you pretty toasty, and I can use that as an additional top quilt. That's one I picked up on Amazon, and I will leave a description as to which one I got, as well as which hammock I'm using and which under quilts. It's currently about -1 degree Celsius. This thing's picking up the heat of my hand. It's getting warmer as I hold it. Anyway, -1 Celsius, and which puts me at about 31 Fahrenheit. It's supposed to get down to around 21 Fahrenheit tonight. So I think that I'll be plenty warm with what I have. But it's supposed to start snowing at 2 a.m. so I have to get the fly set up. So I'm going to do that right now. So ran into a little bit of a problem there. The trees are too far apart for the fly. They're fine for the long straps that I have for the hammock. Too far apart for the fly, so actually hooking, instead of onto the tree itself, I'm hooking onto my strap. Never tried that before. Hopefully it'll work out okay. shelter's all set. And I think I'll build a fire and get warmed up. So I've got the fire burning pretty good now. It's just about dark. The sun is down. The moon is starting to come up and it looks like a full moon. But the clouds are rolling in and it's supposed to be snowing by about 2 a.m. So we'll see how well I set up the hammocks fly there for shedding the snow. Just a reminder, this is not hot tent camping. This is going to be cold hammock camping. Right now, it's about -3 degrees Celsius and falling, so the fire is very welcome. And it is time for me to get something to eat. I'm not sure I'll film all the preparation of the meal, but I will show you what I make. For my first night out here, I am having steak and some butter fried Brussels sprouts and a baked potato. So this is venison steak. Brussels sprouts turned out excellent. The steak turned out wonderful. Even the baked potato is pretty good. And to wash it down, a black cherry beer. Pick 'em. No complaints here. So as you can see, it's pretty calm, which is great because it's a pretty cold night. It's down to -5 Celsius now. So it puts me in the mid-20s Fahrenheit. And so it'd be a lot colder with the wind. So it's nice to have a calm night. I'm going to finish up this meal. Finish up this beer. And get myself ready to get in the hammock and just try to stay warm for the night.
morning. Made it through the night. And it wasn't that bad. A couple times I felt a little bit of chill in my shoulders, but by just readjusting the quilts, I was fine. Well, right now, it is time to get up and make some coffee. So just got a dusting of snow overnight. So that wasn't bad. I could hear it hitting the fly a couple times. I didn't know how much was coming down. But not much at all. I stayed pretty warm. I got a little bit of a chill in my shoulders a couple times, but by readjusting the quilts I was fine. It looks like my fire pit didn't burn everything, but got no heat left in there. So I'll have to either use the little stove or build a fire this morning to make some coffee. So those are some kind of canine track. I did hear a dog last night when I was cooking my meal. I didn't hear any coyotes, but these could be either coyote tracks or a dog. So I had something visit me in the night. Anyway, I could melt snow for my coffee, but there's a spring on the creek down below the hill here. So I'm going to make my way to the spring and get some nice fresh spring water instead of melting snow. Looks like I had some deer right by my camp too. Oh. More deer tracks there. Maybe I'll get lucky and see a deer. As I was making my way down this hill, I saw a few turkeys, 4 or 5 of them. I did get them on camera a little bit. I was having a little bit of trouble focusing on through the brush, but I think I got them on camera. It's a little bit colder today than yesterday. The wind chill is bringing the temperature down into the teens Fahrenheit. There's those turkeys. That's where those turkeys walked through. I think there was like, half dozen of them anyway. But still making my way down to the spring. I really don't need snowshoes because the snow's not that deep, but they do help keep you from slipping when you're on the hillsides. They also can trip you though. I stepped on my own snowshoe a couple minutes ago and went down. Clumsy. Well, the snow's starting to accumulate again. It's supposed to be kind of a blizzardy day, so it might be just sitting around the fire day, trying to stay warm.
wind makes it cold. So, coffee's good. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on building a fire so I can get some breakfast going. Some bacon bits. Not bad at all. In fact, it's pretty fantastic for a campfire meal. Well, I'm all packed up and I'm heading out. I kind of accomplished the objective that I had, and that was to see if even without a hot tent it would still be an enjoyable trip down into the negative Celsius temperatures. So it went well. I stayed warm. Just want to say thanks for joining me on this little adventure. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it encouraged you to get outdoors. Even if you don't have a fancy hot tent, you can still enjoy some wonderful winter activities. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.